Can you believe we started Interview Boss in 2021?
Not really. It's insane. That's a lot of episodes and a lot of hours of talking.
Oh my gosh, it is. And if you're scrolling through all of our episodes, you might scroll straight past something that you really, really needed.
Yes, we're always getting messages from people asking us to do an episode on something, and I'm like, we already have.
So we've put together playlists to help you find the episodes that are exactly what you need, suited to your situation.
They're all categorized. If you're applying for jobs, we have episodes about resumes, cover letters, job ads. If you've been offered your dream job, we have episodes on resigning, exit interviews, and how to impress at your new company.
And we even have a very special playlist that's very popular for if you have an interview coming up immediately and you need just our most recommended hard-hitting episodes between now and then.
For all our last-minute listeners. It's all there for you. You can browse by category and check out all the playlists at interviewboss.com.au/podcast. I would advise anyone who's been fired or let go to not reapply for that same company. Just let it go. Let it go. Hey everyone, and welcome back to Interview Boss. My name's Emma. I'm a radio journalist who's teamed up with my sister to give you advice, inspiration, and support when you're looking for a new job. Sarah is a HR and recruitment professional, and together we're excited to give you guys all the tips, tricks, and behind-the-scenes knowledge to help you in your career.
Hey Em, and welcome back everyone. This week we're shouting out Jules. Jules is from London, and she wrote us in to tell us she's been a stay-at-home mum for a couple of years and she wanted to get back into work. She had a few interviews that didn't go well, and she didn't get offers for jobs she was overqualified for and really thought that she was going to land. She then got offered a great interview for a job she really wanted. She did some quick research and came across our podcast. She listened to 3 of our episodes, went into the interview with a notebook. If you know, you know.
This is what we were just talking about on the last episode. So happy. This is the listener.
Which she thinks it really impressed them, her being prepared with the notebook. It always works. And she was straight away asked to go back for a second interview. She said she felt so much more confident and wanted to thank us for improving the confidence of a mum who has been out of the workforce for a little while. So well done, Jules, and good luck with that second interview.
That is amazing. The notebook strikes again. Sarah always talks about it, and this is the proof.
3 episodes, Em, it took us to help her. How awesome's that?
That's pretty good.
If you want results like that, you can check out my one-on-one interview coaching sessions. You can find out all about them at www.interviewboss.com.au/coaching. I do sessions with people all around the world at all different times of the day. So go check it out if you've got a really important interview coming up that you want to practice for.
And every month we're choosing one of our Shoot Your Shot shout-out listeners to receive an Interview Boss gift box. If you liked one of our episodes, used a tip we sent you, or you want to request an episode specifically on your situation or industry, slide into our DMs and you could be the lucky winner.
Yeah. So this week, Em, we're here talking about going back to an old employer. They call these boomerang employees.
Interesting.
I don't know if that's just an Australian thing, surely not, but I've heard them called boomerang employees, and some companies like really encourage people to come back later after they've gone and gotten more experience and then they come back into the company. It's definitely a thing. But what do you reckon? Are there companies that you would go back to?
Yeah, my workplace has plenty of boomerangs. I've had a lot of random jobs. There's some I definitely wouldn't go back to.
Yeah, totally. My perspective though is it's a bit like those people that you know that have broken up.
I was just going to say.
And they go back to their old relationship. And look, maybe sometimes it works out the second time, but in my experience, it never does. It never does. The relationship breaks down for the exact same reason it did the first time. So part of me is like, just learn the lesson the first time and go work for, you know, the millions of other employers that are out there. So that's my thoughts overall, but obviously there are exceptions.
Totally. Like where nothing went wrong, where maybe you were just offered a really amazing opportunity elsewhere and you went there.
Yeah, or like you relocated and then you came back. Totally. If it was kind of circumstantial, I'm a little bit more open to it. Or even if it was like years and years later and you liked the company, but it's in a different job, a different role, it's a different context that you're coming back to. But going back to the exact same job or a very similar job in the same company, yeah, I'd be hesitant. But we're giving you some things to think about to help you make this decision for yourself and work out whether it's right for you to actually go back. So, Em, what's our first thing to think about?
First thing to consider is reflect on why you left. Were there fundamental reasons, things that weren't going to change, things that were making you unhappy? And then on the back of that, consider whether that thing has changed. You know, did you leave because of a horrible boss, but now that boss is long gone and the company's thriving?
Yeah, exactly. And I think if you're thinking about going back because maybe they've reached out to you or maybe you've seen a job advertised or maybe you're in your new job and thinking, oh, it's not as good as I thought it was, really think about what it was that made you accept another job. Was it purely just for pay reasons and, you know, maybe everything else was amazing? Was it the colleagues that you're working with? Was there a bit of a toxic culture? Did you not get any progression? Did you never get to learn anything? Did the work you did suck? Think about all the reasons that you left and make sure that that's just not going to be the same issue next time around.
Also important to think about, does this fit into your career goals? You know, are you going back because it's a bit of an easy move? You think, oh, I can just slot right back in. Or is it genuinely something that it's just a coincidence that you've been there before? It really aligns, it really suits, and you just so happen to have already worked there before.
Yeah, and I think maybe if you left because they couldn't give you a promotion because there were no roles available and that was the only reason you left, and then now something's come available that's in that exact role that you wanted, maybe that actually does make sense in your long-term career goals and you get to go back to that company that you really liked working for. But I think it's really easy for people to make the comfortable decision. There are so many other employers out there, and hey, if you haven't found one since you've left there, that doesn't mean that somewhere else isn't going to be great. I guess people in this situation could be tempted to think, well, better the devil you know than the devil you don't. But I just always think the grass could be greener, you know, like you could find all those good things somewhere new without all of the baggage.
Yeah, I get it. Hey job hunters, big news. Our all new course, Interview Academy, is live and ready to transform your interview game. It's all the strategies from Sarah's one-on-one coaching, but without the limited time slots.
Yep, it takes you step by step by step through crafting your career story, coming up with your awesome best bits, and all the practice you need.
And guess what?
It's at a special launch price, never to be seen again. Get more information at interviewboss.com.au/interview-academy. It's linked in the show notes below.
Also, did you burn your bridges? Because that's not going to go down well. Now, if you're good little listeners, we always say to never do that. But if you did, if maybe you were a little bit naughty and you did, something to think about.
Yeah, maybe you left without working your full notice period. Maybe even after you left, they found some stuff that you hadn't finished. Sometimes you can think that you've left on really great terms. And after you've left, they've discovered all these big problems that maybe you ignored or didn't know about or whatever. And so they could actually have really changed their opinion of you after you've left. I've seen this so many times. Everyone's like, oh, yay, you know, so happy for you. And then they discover this big thing that was never done and they keep discovering more things and they're like, damn you, I would never work with you again. So
their reputation totally changes.
Exactly. So you want to be conscious of what your reputation's like and make sure that you're able to go back without it being, you know, oh, so-and-so's back. You don't want to be gossip.
And what's it like there? Why are they hiring? Get some inside info. Get the scoop. What's the 411? What's the sitch?
So what's the sitch?
Is Kim Possible Australian or was that global?
I feel like it was global.
Joel's in the background just saying it's global, not Australian.
Yeah, it's definitely not Australian.
It's Disney Channel. Cheers.
I don't think we have naked mole rats here in Australia. to be honest.
Yeah, you're right. His name's Rufus, by the way.
Oh, Rufus. Excellent. Well, I don't think we have any Rufuses here.
Excellent. I'll add that to my useless knowledge. Why did you say that? Excellent.
Is that my version of great, do you think? Excellent.
Maybe. Mine's great.
Excellent.
That's great.
We talked about this in a previous episode.
Anyway. So yeah, what's the sitch?
Well, what we were saying was get the 411 and find out why they're hiring. Has there been like a change of management and it's actually turned really toxic? Is the company losing money at the moment and things aren't great? Has everything turned around the other way as well? There's been positive changes and things are growing. Things could have really shifted even if it's only been a couple of months or a year. Find out what's going on.
And it's also better to reach out to someone there rather than applying online. So if it's you're returning, guess who's back? It's me. Better to just, if you have a contact, hit them up rather than for them to weirdly see your name pop up in all the applicants.
Yeah, I used to think this when I would see people applying who I didn't know had worked in the company, but their CV had the company's name on it as having previously worked there. It was always a bit odd to be like, I don't know you. Why have you just applied? Like, I now have to do some research to work out whether we liked you or not. It's going to be much easier for you to just go through the contact and for them to tell me, hey, so-and-so is interested in coming back. They were really great or whatever. Because whenever you see someone who's previously worked at the company that you're hiring for, the first thing you have to do is find out what they were like. Because surprisingly, Em, I know you think people wouldn't do this, but they do. They got fired from the company, or, probation fail, something, bad performance, misconduct even, and they just apply again like a few years later.
Oh my God. What's wrong with people?
You would think that they would avoid the company that fired them. But the problem is sometimes if their manager who fired them has left, nobody remembers. And so you've actually got to ask around, check their file, work out what happened. So I think much, much easier if you're trying to get back in, use your network.
Look, I would advise anyone who's been fired or let go to not reapply for that same company. Just let it go. Let it go. Someone else will love you. Also, renegotiate everything. Hypothetically, if you are going to go into a role that's similar or the exact same, don't assume that everything is going to be as it once was. Lots of things could have changed by then. Renegotiate. This is your time.
Absolutely. Absolutely. They will be tempted to look at what your terms and conditions were last time. That's off the table. If you're coming back, everything is renegotiated again. Get a massive salary increase, get the benefits that you wanted. If there's something, calling back to what we said before, if you never had any training provided to you, great. Well, can you ask for that as part of the package? If you never got, the time off that you needed, can you ask for that? Like, what are the things that you want in your package or as part of your job or your duties or your title even? Renegotiate. You've got the power if they want you back.
There you go. Any last thought-provoking thoughts on returning to old workplaces? Hit us with a big one-liner, punchy take-home message.
I just think treat it a bit like a relationship. If it didn't work out the first time, there's normally a reason. There's plenty of fish in the sea. That's my thing that I'll leave you with.
Okay. Go forth and ponder that.
Yep, exactly. And if it's the perfect fit to go back, you do you. I'm all for it.
Yeah, we're not saying there's no exceptions.
But I've seen people make this decision for the wrong reasons more than I have for the right reasons. And they come back the second time and it doesn't work out again the second time. Thanks so much for listening to Interview Boss. If you like hearing the sound of our voices, hit that follow button in Apple or on Spotify, or better yet, tell someone how great this podcast is. That's how we hit the charts and we can help even more people. For more advice, inspiration, and a supportive community, check us out on Instagram at InterviewBoss.
If we've been your job search besties and helped you in some way, there's a cool way you can support the show. Shout us a virtual coffee.
We get a huge kick out of reading all of your success stories. Head to buymeacoffee.com/interviewboss and shout us a cuppa.
If you keep us caffeinated, we can keep the content coming.